Hey everyone. You know, I was looking over some of the forums I'm going to now, and hold on, sorry about that. But like I said, I was going over some of the forums that I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff at now. Basically, revisiting SaturdayMSonic.com and mostly Saturday Morning Sonic. And one of the posts at Saturday Morning Sonic really caught my eye, and I thought at first, this has got to be a joke, right? But they provided a link. I listened, and it was from the first episode of the Bumblecast, and I think it was a question that a fan had or something. And first of all, the question is, will basically the topic here on the video is, will Sally Acorn, Princess Sally Acorn, ever be in another relationship again with Sonic or somebody else? And like anybody out there, excuse me, like anybody listening, I would love for her to be back with Sonic. And just listening to what Ian had to say in that audio clip, it sounds like we might get that. Maybe. He says he's done with He says he's done with pairings, but it doesn't mean anybody else is done with pairings. It doesn't mean his wife's done with them. It doesn't mean Tracy Yardlin's done with them. It doesn't matter. Even Evan Stanley doesn't. It's just because he doesn't want to do it doesn't mean the others will do it. Now, does that kind of give me some hope along with other fans? Absolutely. Because I think Tracy, Aaliyah, Evan, and probably whoever else comes on board is going to want to probably do that. They're going to probably want to try to slowly structure getting Sonic and Sally back together. I think that's going to happen. So I truly believe it's still going to happen. But will Sally be back in that relationship soon? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I think if anything, if they do, I think if anything, if they do attempt to go in that direction and give Sally a relationship to be in, whether it's with Sonic or somebody else, it's going to be after the Shattered World crisis. It's going to be after the world gets restored and everything, and that's when they're going to start building up to other things as well. But the one question that, but the but the question that caught me off guard here on this with this topic at the Saturday Morning Sonic forums was the link to the Bumblecast video or audio video podcast, the first one. The question was, will Sally and Nicole ever be a pairing? In other words, will they go lesbian with Sally and Nicole? And that that kind of made me laugh a little bit. And I'm thinking, whoa, seriously? They're wondering, somebody wants to know that question. Fans want to know. And what's even more surprising is Ian Flynn himself is in support of the idea. Basically, he's in support of the idea. The only problem with it, as he points out in his Bumblecast form, or in his podcast, in his first podcast there, the only problem that he sees there is politics. And it's not the politics about oh, you should follow this path and be straight and be man and wife, what not wife and wife and all that, whatever. It's politics, I think, with Archie and Sega and all that, because you got to look at it this way: the book in itself, in my opinion and the opinions of other people, is an all ages book. It is an all ages book. Let's face facts. Any age, whether you're in your single digits, your teens, your 20s, in my case, your mid 30s, early 30s, your 40s, whatever, 50s. It's a book you can sit back and enjoy, because if done right, it's got compelling stories and compelling characters. And when I say when I say that and when I say that, that's basically, I think, the politics that Ian talks about, that he would be facing trying to make this happen. But it's not just that either. It's the fact that a lot of fans obviously at his message boards, at other places, basically the overall fan base, some of the longtime fans like myself, are in support of Sonic and Sally, and always look at Sally as being Sonic's girl. So, in his opinion, if he was to attempt to push something like that, it would cause basically a firestorm. It would cause so much trouble, so much debating that it's basically be what he was. It would basically start, I should say, what he wanted to get away from when he did the soft retcon reboot, and that's get away from the whole shipping wars deal. It would reignite that again. It would reignite that to a point that I guess in his mind it would ruin what the book is capable of. But he said, but obviously he did admit that if he could, that if the, but basically he did admit that if it wasn't for the politics and maybe the fan base being what it is, he would probably go for it. If, basically that's what I get out of this. That if it wasn't for the fan base, being what it is, a majority of the fans looking at Sally as being Sonic's girl and whatnot, that he would probably attempt it and go forward with it. He'd probably try to pursue it. Again, the only problem he looks at is the politics, I think, with Archie and maybe with Sega. And also you got the fans, the longtime fans of the comic and the cartoon that look at Sally as being Sonic's girl and nothing more. I mean, I'm pretty sure he looked back at what he did with Monkey Kong and Sally during the whole Iron Dominion story arc that got expanded into Journey to the East in Sonic Universe, and pretty much realized not a lot of fans were cool with that. Some were, some weren't. So I'm sure that's what he wants to avoid again. But from what I'm excuse me, from what I'm getting here, it's more along the lines of if he could, he would. That's what I'm getting. Like, if he could do it, he would do it. If there was no if there was no politics involved, if Archie would be cool with it and say, okay, go ahead, because they've already done in one of the main Archie titles related to the Archie continuity. They've already created a gay character there. So to him, it's like, if Archie would be cool with it and Sega would be cool with it, I try to pursue it. But the only obstacle he would have besides that is the fan base. And I think what he's trying to say is, look, the reason I'm not doing any more pairings, the reason I'm done with this is because of the freaking shipping wars, the freaking debates about who should be with who. And, I'm not trying to agree with him on, I'm not trying to agree that that's the best avenue to go, because if you're going to settle in on putting two individuals together and you want to make that the pairing, then you stick with that no matter what. You come out and say, look, I know a lot of you are not going to like it, but this is what we're going with, so please just try to work with us. And if you don't want to read the book anymore, that's fine. That's your decision. So I think that would be a better avenue for him to go in, or would have gone in. Now, does it mean something like Sally and Nicole's off the table? Not really. I mean, we're in a freaking world now, a PC world, if you will, where pretty much a majority of the 50 states have thrown the book out on, merit, on marriage. Basically, it's now about equality. It doesn't matter if you're gay or you're lesbian. If you want to be with somebody that you feel destined to be with your rest of your life, that's your decision. Am I in support of something like that? No, I'm not. I am a born-again Christian, so I'm not in support of that. But I have to realize that that's the freaking world we live in now. I'm not really in support of it, but like I said, it's the world we live in now. Now, does it mean I'm not, weakened or acceptable to seeing maybe, girl-on-girl action? Of course not. Any man, young or old, middle-aged or not, is acceptable to wanting to see girl on girl action, even if they are against lesbian and gayness. I'm not saying, I'm innocent in that, because I am acceptable. I'm one of those exceptions that, even though I'm against lesbian and lesbian, gay marriage and lesbian marriage, it doesn't mean I'm not acceptable to wanting to see girl on girl lesbian action. I'm not saying that, because, that's just a weakness a man has at times. Let's face facts, you know, and I'm not trying to say that I watch that all the time. There's just times of weakness that it happens. But getting back on topic here, um, like I was saying, we're in a world right now to where, you know, something like that, if Archie would be cool with it and Sega would be cool with it, we could probably see. I mean, let's take a look at what Ken Penders once admitted. He once admitted that he wanted to make Rotor a gay character, which is why in the original 25 years later, Rotor is so close with this one echidna character, Colbat, or whatever his name is, that pretty much it's implied, it's pretty much implied, even though it's not, you know, acknowledged, that it's implied that there's something more than friendship. And when Ken Penders came out and what he had planned for Rotor, that pretty much confirmed it. Confirmed what a lot of people probably much suspected back then and now. So again, if they wanted to put Sally back in a relationship with somebody, whether it be with Sonic, that'd be cool, especially for a lot of longtime Sonic and Sally fans. But if they wanted to test the waters and say, okay, we're going to put her with Nicole and make them a lesbian couple, in today's world, that would be pretty much acceptable, no matter what. And again, if Archie Comics would be cool with it and Sega would be cool with it, and there was no mass debate, no mass shipping or anything like that, I'm pretty sure Ian Flynn wouldn't have a problem doing it. But again, like I said, I think the reason Ian Flynn doesn't do it is because of those shipping wars. It's because of that debate. I mean, he's pretty much afraid that if he was to attempt that, even with the blessing of Archie and Sega, that it would start up another shipping flame war that he wants to avoid. That he basically said, as I mentioned earlier, that when he started the Soft Redcon reboot, he wants to avoid whatsoever. He wants to be done with. But again, just because Ian Flynn is done with it doesn't mean other writers like his wife Aaliyah, his friends Tracy, Avan, and whoever else comes on board is done with it. They could step up and say, hey, we'll take responsibility. We'll make this pairing happen. Or we'll put Sonic and Sally back together and we'll take the responsibility. We'll take the heat. So I still look at it this way. I still look at the fact that there's still hope that Sonic and Sally will be paired back together, possibly after the Shadow World Crisis. I really look at it as that as a possibility, but not by Ian Flynn's hands, but by somebody else. Now, and I'm most suspecting it's going to be his wife, because she is good at character developing. I just got a feeling it could be her. Now, if it's not that, and now if it's not Sonic and Sally, and let's say they decide to test the waters with that Sally Nicole deal, then I'm sure Aaliyah or Tracy or Evan will be one of them that will take the heat. They'll come up and, like I said, step up and say, hey, I'll take the heat for this. I'll do it. I'll take the heat. I'll test the waters for you. So I think honestly, that to me, Sally being in a relationship again, will Sally? Basically, to me, the question of will Sally be back in a relationship? I think, honestly, I think she will be. I really do. But whether it will be with Sonic, hey, that'd be great, especially for a lot of longtime fans like myself. But if they're going to test the waters and say, hey, let's put it with Nicole, because pretty much, I guess they're implying that it's kind of indicated that the friendship could be more than just being best friends, then we'll just have to see what happens, to see what the reaction will be. But to me, in closing, to again answer the question, will Sally Acorn be in a relationship again either with Sonic or somebody else, I think she will be, and I think it'll be after the Shadow World Crisis arc. And you want the honest opinion of when I think it might kind of slowly be indicated that that will happen? I think when they do a Sally Acorn Sonic Universe story arc. I really do. So, but that's all I have to say on on the question, on the topic question of will Sally Acorn be in a relationship again in the comic? Again, I think she will. I think it'll be after the Shadow World Crisis. I hopefully believe it will be with Sonic, and if not, then will it be with Nicole? It's a strong possibility. So, especially after if you listen to Bumble King Cast episode 1. So we'll just have to wait and see who will take the heat if that decision is made. Who will step up and take the heat for it? And I'll just leave it at that. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think she will be in a relationship again with Sonic, or maybe somebody else like Nicole, or maybe a new character? And who do you think will step up, with the exception of Ian, to take the heat and responsibility for making that happen?